live.
Yes, I
We
think it's
are.
all looking really good. You're looking
Mhm.
amazing, Deval, as
So
always.
are you?
Get them pecs out. What's happening? What's happening in London town, man? How's the weather
Oh,
over there?
it's
Warm.
Easter. Happy Easter, everyone. It's warm as well.
Happy
Yeah, it's
Easter.
Easter. It's warm. The sun's out. Everyone's walking around half naked because the sun hasn't been out
Mm,
for months and people are happy. Yes. So
lovely,
it's
lovely,
nice
amazing.
here in London, in the
That's
UK.
good. Over here, funny thing is, it's the opposite over here because it's getting colder. And
It's getting colder. Oh,
for the
what?
for the first time in ages, I'm just gonna like for people who are watching this. So if you might want to watch this, I'm actually wearing jeans. I don't know if you can see
Oh
those.
my gosh. I can
I'm
see. Yeah.
wearing jeans inside. Normally, I'm like
Billy
bollock
Jeans.
naked.
Yeah.
Right, listen, folks. Here we're doing episode 185. Thanks for joining.
Yep.
Thanks for downloading. And Devout and I, we've got a couple of good movies that we want to speak about. So we'll get into the whole kind of show. Remember, like, subscribe, do all that shenanigans
Yep.
online, on Twitter, on Facebook, and all that sort of stuff. And you could be shouted out. Basically, I
Hmm.
mean, we're not going to shout at you, but we're going to give you a shout out. So Deval, let's do the shout outs.
Yeah, quick shout out this week goes to Vanya. Vanya loves Star Wars. So anything to do with Star Wars, Mandalorian, all of that. She's all
Obi-Wan,
over it. What was that?
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan. I was going to say she's really looking forward to that one. So that's coming out next month. I know she's going to be watching that like a hawk. So Vanya, if you're listening, do let us know what you think when you watch it. So yeah, big shout out to Vanya.
Big shout out, Vanya. Thanks for listening. All right, okay, let's get into movie news now. Deval,
Yeah.
this show that you and I we both watched, and it's been a while since it's been kind of like we've heard anything about this. And I remember, there was this kind of talk of maybe they were going to cancel Mindhunter, but now the news is that it could be coming
Yeah.
back.
So the news is Netflix is going to be bringing back Mindhunter. Mindhunter, for those that don't know, is a really, really deep, methodical, psychological drama that really, it goes under the hood, really under the hood, to do with the psychological makeup of serial killers and killers in general who just,
Mm.
kill people. And not just obviously any killing is bad, but the dark, twisted serial killers that do disgusting things to their victims. Like we're talking about people like, and this is in America, so people like Edmund Kemper,
Oh
who
wow.
they nicknamed him the co-ed killer because he went around killing a lot of co-eds, university students, all females. He'll catch them. He'll kill them, strangulation or
Yeah.
shooting.
Started off
He'll
with cats, wasn't it, or something?
yeah, started off with animals. A lot of these serial killers do, same as Jeffrey Dahmer. But he'll cut off their heads and all kinds of stuff. He even this is really deep to go into, but he even killed his mother. He
Yes.
done all sorts to her body, and it was disgusting, disgusting
Yep.
stuff. This show really looks at the FBI agents who formed a real good. I don't know if I can say good. It's a really cutting edge, ahead of the time way of working actually with serial killers to try and catch other serial
Other serial
killers.
killers.
And they used Edmund Kemper as a case study to help them to catch other killers. So it's a deep show, but yeah, if this comes back, I'm all over it for
I'm all
sure.
over it. It's brilliant. It's a really good show. Go,
Mhm.
no more being said. Devour summed it all up brilliantly. Okay, go check that one out. All right, white men can't fill in the gap.
Oh, white men can't jump. I mean, this when was it? It was 1992, I want to say. Yeah,
Yeah, I
30
think
years
so.
old. So this could
Yeah,
be
and
a hidden
and this is
anniversary corner.
exactly. And remember, I think Woody. There was it was a weird and great little team up. Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. And I remember they did. I can't remember
And
if it was
Rosie
before
Perez.
or after. Yeah, I can't remember if they did it before or after. But they did another team up called Money Train. Did you ever watch
Oh
that one?
yes, yeah. Money Train, yeah.
Yeah, and it was this kind of this weird pairing of these two, and on screen they were like really, really great.
Mm,
A good. I remember the soundtrack. Everyone would listen to the
mm,
soundtrack.
mm.
In the early '90s, and great fun movie. But yeah, man, what's going on with this? Because it's been a while.
Yeah, so this one's coming back. This one is coming back. I know there's been lots of remakes and all sorts, but yeah, White Men Can't Jump is coming back. And yeah, from what I understand, one of the actors from Power, the TV show that's on Netflix, he's
Yeah,
going to be reprising the role as I guess the modern version of Wesley Snipes. Whether
yeah,
Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson, Rosie Perez, whether they come back into it. Maybe we saw a picture of them after the Oscars recently,
yeah,
so maybe that was a bit of a hint as to the future. But I mean, I don't know. It's obviously it's back in the '90s. Times were different.
yeah,
Is the title "White Men Can't Jump"? Is it still okay now in the world we live
yeah.
in? You know, can you say those sorts of
Can you
things? I
say
mean,
those sorts of things?
exactly. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, obviously, white men can jump. Uh,
Yeah.
we're not saying they can't. I've jumped with them many times in football, and many have out jumped me. So
But you know what? You make a valid point. It's like how are they going to update it for like
yeah,
obviously our 21st century sensibilities?
yeah,
Like there's
yeah,
so much shit that has changed since the early 90s. It's just like, oh my gosh. It would be good to see the three of them, like the original
mm,
cast members, turn up in some sort of kind of way. We'll see how that pans out. But yeah, interesting news actually. And again, it proves that Hollywood is just um they love their reboots and remakes, man. They just
mm,
pluck things up from the past and like, they don't have the ideas, maybe, who knows? Um, what else from the past are they going to remake? Who knows?
oh,
All right, let's talk about Sandra Bullock.
mm,
Deval, she's an Oscar winner. She's had an amazing career. Like she's been working in the industry for a really, really long time, and she's out in a new movie with Channing Tatum. I haven't seen it,
yep,
and in that movie, so it stars Channing Tatum, it stars Sandra Bullock, and it stars Daniel Radcliffe.
yep.
Um, so tell us about this because it's kind of connected in some way to Daniel Radcliffe. This next piece of news.
Yeah, so the film it just came out a few days ago. Actually, it's
Yeah,
called The Lost
days.
City. It's a comedy about a writer who she's written some great books and stuff about finding treasures and all that kind of stuff. And somehow Daniel Radcliffe's character, Channing Tatum's character, they were involved in trying to find this treasure. I think Daniel Radcliffe is a baddie in the film.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt shows up as well. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. I think in doing that, Sandra Bullock got really, really close to Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter, and now she's come out and said that she recommends that Marvel hire Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine,
Mm.
Harry Potter. I mean,
It just and
that
someone
if
did a
that
mock-up.
happens, I ain't seen a single. I mean, Daniel Radcliffe as an actor, he's cool. I've got nothing wrong with him as an
Yeah.
actor. I've seen not all his work. I've seen some of his work. I haven't seen Harry Potter at all.
Outside of Harry Potter.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I could probably accept it, but I wouldn't want to accept it. I
Mm.
can't see him as Wolverine.
I
He's got
know.
to do some next level. I can more see Aaron Taylor Johnson as Wolverine, but he's now going to
Yes.
be
Craven.
Craven the Hunter. But nah, mate. Mm-mm,
I know.
mm-mm.
And someone on Instagram, they kind of did a mock-up of, Harry Potter with kind of like, his hair and like, he's
Ah,
put a little beard on him with a
come on.
cigar and everything. It just kind of, I don't know. With this shit, you just can't see it,
Mm-mm,
obviously, initially, but
nah,
you just never know. Um, I don't know. Maybe they're looking for someone. They need someone younger, obviously,
yeah,
because
and
if they want to
different.
make several movies,
Mm,
if they want to make a trilogy or whatever and stuff. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Do you agree, folks?
no,
Should Harry Potter be Wolverine? Who knows?
even the voice.
Um,
How's his voice going to get to that level, and his body as well?
uh,
Wolverine actually is in the comics. He's 5'3".
he's
So Hugh
short.
Jackman was
Yes,
way too tall for
yes.
Wolverine, but still, nah, Daniel Radcliffe, man, leave it alone. Leave it alone, mate.
Leave it alone, please, Governor. All right, check this out. Some of you Breaking Bad fans might enjoy this one. I mean, when I read about this, this was brilliant. So check this out. Co-creator Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould confirmed that Bryan Cranston and Aaron
Mm.
Paul are going to be returning to their roles as Walter White and Jesse Pinkman in the final season of Better Call Saul. Deval,
Oh, oh shit,
that
serious?
is,
Oh, what?
yes,
Okay.
this is mad. And so this is what he had to say. One of the co-creators. I don't want to spoil things for the audience, but I will
Mm,
say the first question we had when we started the show was, "This is Better Call Saul.
mm,
Are we going to see Walt and Jesse on the show?" And he said, "I'll just say yeah."
okay. Say no more. Say no more.
That is
Yeah.
big news, man. And then you remember the whole thing with Better Call Saul. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Let me just put my hand up and I'll say, like, I haven't seen all of Better Call Saul,
It's good.
and this is
Good.
now going to make me obviously want to. But Better Call Saul is kind of like this, this spin-off, and it focuses on the lawyer for the guys. But I wonder how it's all going to weave in and kind of tie into Breaking Bad. I mean,
It's a
hopefully in a good
prequel.
way.
It's a prequel to Breaking Bad. So
Yeah,
everything that happened in Better Call Saul is before, but then I guess there's gonna be a point where maybe the crossover happened. Maybe we'll see
sure.
that point. Maybe it's right at the end. But Better Call
Yeah,
Saul's coming out soon, I think. I think it's the end of April or beginning
yep.
of May, one of them. But I can't wait for it. That's gonna be really good. Really
That's going
good.
to be really good seeing those
Mm,
guys again. So that's interesting. All right, check this out. So the franchise that keeps on giving. Remember, we've
mm,
spoken
mm,
about this so many times. Fast and Furious. We
mm.
watched one, maybe like about less than 6 months ago. But check this out. Captain Marvel, Brie Larson is officially joining the cast of Fast and the Furious Part 10, and Vin Diesel, he put a picture up on Instagram where like Larson and him are laughing together, and then
Mm.
he this is what he wrote. He said, "You see this angel over my shoulder cracking me up? Yeah, that's Captain Marvel." So basically, Captain Marvel's going to be in Fast and Furious. We don't know if she's going to be like a villain, if she's
Mm.
going to be like a good person or whatever. But Vin Diesel's he's able to rope in like big
Oh yeah.
stars for this franchise.
Yeah, I mean they'll get a good payday too. But Brie
Mm,
Larson, she kind of splits the the
yeah.
fans. Some people like her, some people don't. So I don't know how they're going to fit her in. But I guess they're making two, aren't they? Fast and Furious 10
10
and
and
11.
11. Yeah.
So we'll see how she fits into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we still no word yet, folks, on whether The Rock will reprise his role.
Mm,
So we'll see.
mm.
We're still waiting on that one. Maybe in the 11th one, he might turn up in the 11th hour. All right, let's finish off movie news, Devaldo. What you got for us on this last one?
Yeah, a little bit of a jokey one here, but a guy called Ramiro Alains, he actually watched Spider-Man No Way Home 292
What?
times, and that got him into the Guinness Book of Records, Guinness Book of World Records, I should say. And he put a post out there. I think Tom Holland acknowledged him and Marvel acknowledged him 292 times. That's in the
What?
cinema, yeah. So, I mean, we heard years ago when I forgot the person's name, but he watched Endgame an X amount of times, or
Yeah.
Infinity War, and I think he was invited to the
He got
Endgame
the premiere.
premiere.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the most times you've watched a film in the cinema?
I think maybe about 3 times. I think that's
Is that
I've done
it?
like that.
Oh,
Yeah, man, three
that's light
times.
work. That's light work, mate.
I know you've done like what you did Endgame, what, 12 times was it or something?
I think, and I did Black Panther was 12, Infinity War was 11. So my most is 12, yeah. But I mean, I think at the time I wasn't working as well, so I
Yeah.
got no niños, so uh,
Yeah, exactly. No,
so
but I mean,
I had time on
it
my
is
hands.
great. I tell you what, though, it is great. Fantastic. It's great that you mentioned this because going back to watch a movie that you had a
Mm,
really good time, watching, and then going back and seeing it again, and you pick up on all the different, like, things. Like when I watched Spider-Man, this recent one, when I watched it the second time, I was like, oh
mm,
shit, man, that
yeah,
was brilliant. And then when I watched Batman the second time, I thought, no, that was brilliant. So you do
mm,
get kind of,
yeah, yeah. 292 times, Gordon
that's
Bennett. I mean, come
crazy.
on, mate, come
Imagine the
on, mate.
dollars the guy spent on that.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, that's your movie news, folks. And remember, keep it locked with the Flixters. We've got more new movie news to bring at you. But now we're going to
Mhm,
move on to new and streaming. And we kind of missed speaking about this for the past couple of weeks. So this is Disney. This is on Disney
mm,
Plus. This is new on streaming. This is Moon Knight, and we're already on episode number 3.
yeah.
And Deval, we're going to try and kind of unpack these 3 episodes within the next kind of like 2 or 3 minutes. But first things first, what did you remember? We had this conversation. We were like, shit, is Oscar Isaac going to be good in the
Yeah,
Marvels,
yeah.
universe? And like, he he's a great actor. I think he's really good. He's done loads of different roles. He can do drama. He can do kind of comedy a bit. And here he's doing action, comedy, and drama. So yeah. So what are your initial kind of reactions to the first 3 episodes?
Yeah, I think it's been good. I think it's
Mm.
been good. I don't know what it is, yeah. I still have got uh Oscar Isaac Titus. I've got
Titus.
Oscar Isaac Titus or something because the apocalypse thing damaged me, and I can still see his face. I can see
Yes.
apocalypse's face in him,
Yeah.
and it's not his
Totally.
fault. I want to just make it clear, nothing personal towards him.
Yeah.
It's just some sort of lingering negative sentiment.
Mm.
So I think it's been good so far. I'm enjoying learning the history of the the Egyptian sort of pantheon of gods that Marvel have sort of brought into the space, and I think the different characters that we're seeing as well. So the first, obviously, the first episode, we got to learn a bit about him as a person, his mental health issues that he's got.
Yeah.
The UK sort of London character Stephen, and then Mark Spector's character. We weren't sure who was the main character. Now we understand. I think that Mark Spector is the main guy, and Stephen, the sort of chilled out guy, nerdy guy,
Yeah.
he's the additional character. And there's more than one that we're going to find out. But
Yeah.
it's very
And we
interesting to
kind of
see
saw
it work
clues
like
of
this.
that
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
on that rooftop. There
Mm,
was there's a conversation between Mark and Steven, and they're like, "Did you do that, or did you do
mm,
that?" There's a bit of confusion on who did what. I mean, I'm
yeah.
not going to spoil it, but there's that kind of thing going on over there. And just like you said, we kind of get to see kind of like the villain, Harrow, played by Ethan Hawke, and
Yeah.
he's an avatar of Amit, and he wants to bring her so that I think it was like from episode like number 2 or something like that. Stephen says to him, "Well, if you judge people before they've actually
Yeah.
committed done anything wrong, isn't that like genocide?" And which is like an interesting kind
Yeah.
of idea and take on the whole
It's a
thing.
big dichotomy. Minority Report, Tom Cruise, that film was a
There you
great
go.
example of that. I mean, is that the right thing to do? Is it playing God in society? Obviously, it'd be great to stop a murderer before they kill someone, but there's
Mm,
always that balance of, you know, it's a tough question, but
yeah.
they don't actually fully answer it, which I think is
Nah.
actually real. You can't
Yeah.
fully answer that. It's
Yeah.
hard.
A lot of people online, I've been reading a lot of stuff online about it, Devan. A lot of people are saying, um, one of the issues that people have, and I don't kind of have
Mm.
this issue with it, but a lot of people are saying it's like, why don't they acknowledge the events of, for example, Eternals? Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
how does the kind of like,
Mm,
seeing the Eternals in there and like, that thing in the celestial in the ocean and stuff like that, how does that
mm.
all fit into everything? How does the blip fit into everything? And some people kind of, they're looking for answers, and maybe we won't get those type of answers. Like, will Moon Knight address some of that stuff? I don't think it doesn't have to. I don't think.
I think Marvel now are being a bit less precious about that because it's a lot of work to tie up all those loose ends and make
Yeah,
every film or TV show refer to each other. And I think
yeah,
they're trying to just keep it flowing and not be so anal with all of that. I think in phase 1 and 2, maybe yeah, phase 1, 2, 3, they did that quite a lot. Even the
sure.
Netflix TV, Daredevil and stuff, they got
Mentioned it a
involved
little bit.
in mentioning,
Yeah,
but nothing now. They're going to just leave it alone and just keep the flow going. It's
yeah.
too hard.
Trust me, man. It's like So by the third episode, you'll
Mm,
notice that kind of the action moves away from London and it moves over to
mm,
Egypt, and I bet there's
yeah,
going to be other kind of traveling involved and stuff like that. And I'm with you on this one. It's good. I'm not like I'm not like at the point now where it's like, wow,
not yet.
this is like the best Disney Plus show out there,
Mm,
or the best Marvel show out there. It's good. It's a great introduction to the character and stuff. And we'll see. We've only got like another 3 or 4 episodes
yeah,
left,
we're halfway.
uh, halfway through,
Mm.
and so we'll see how it all pans out. A lot of people are saying that maybe, just maybe, Ethan Hawke's character isn't the only villain.
Oh, okay.
There, there could be one more villain hiding in the shadows, Deval.
Maybe it's the one that's most close to him. Maybe it's the lady, Layla. I think is her name Layla or something.
Ah, yeah, Layla,
You
his
never know.
wife, or whoever she
Ah,
is.
yeah,
Yeah, so we'll kind of figure things out along the way. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's Moon Knight, and it leads up to um, what we're going to be seeing. What, Obi-Wan Kenobi pretty soon, aren't we, Deval?
yeah. Obi-Wan and also I think Miss Marvel. I think they overlap. I think Miss Marvel
Ah,
starts on the
okay,
8th of June. Obi-Wan starts on the 25th of May, I think. So
yeah.
I think there's going to be an overlap somewhere, but I ain't
Yeah,
complaining.
and then remember the thing that bridges all of that.
Doctor
The
Strange.
madness is going to be coming
Gosh.
in a few weeks. We've only got a few short weeks, guys, so stick with us. We'll bring you all that sort of stuff. All right, let's do new trailers now. This I've been waiting for this, Devaldo. I really want to see, because I don't know if you remember this with Stranger Things. Each
Hmm.
season the kids just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and I was just like, oh my god, they're going to be full grown like adults
Trust
by
me,
the
I don't know
time
how
this
they're gonna
ends.
hide
Like,
it. The boys are gonna have beards. Uh,
trust
11,
me, deep
Millie Bobby
voices.
Brown. She's a fully developed woman now, so they're gonna have to hide her, her lady developments and all that. Because
Yeah.
you're right. I don't know what kind of time frame they're gonna. They got to maybe somehow address it. But then are they still going to be in school or
Are
I
they
don't
still in the
know.
80s?
But you're right. Actually, I don't know. But the trailer didn't really address that. It just really gave us some clips, which looks really interesting. It's going to be released in two parts,
Yeah.
part one, part two, to end it all.
They're doing the
So
Ozark.
yeah, exactly. So exactly, you're right. But this looks like they're going to get to the upside down, and that big monster that's in there, that's been sort of in the background and stuff. They're going
Yeah.
to really face it, and this will be their
They
journey
got to
to
deal with it.
adulthood. Yeah, after they deal with this, they're fully grown adults. you know.
Yeah, trust me, man. They're coming out of this like with beards, just exactly like what you said.
Yeah.
So, any idea of when this is going to be hitting Netflix?
This one's coming out. I think is it May or was it end of April? No, I can't remember. it's
Okay, well,
soon.
listen, look, it's
It's
soon.
soon,
Yeah,
actually.
exactly. There's a lot to
There's so
there's a
many
lot
dates
of
to
shit to
remember.
watch.
I know it's crazy.
There's so many shows to watch, right?
It's
So,
soon.
and even at the end of this month, Deval, we've got Ozark Part Two.
Oh, I can't wait for that one. That one I really can't wait for. A lot
Yeah,
of people are
brilliant.
looking forward to Ozark.
Exactly. Now, this next one, this new trailer that we're going to speak about sounds interesting. This is Crimes of the Future. Now, this is
Yeah.
David Cronenberg, isn't it, Deval?
Yes, David Cronenberg.
Yes,
This is
I've
going back
heard a
to
lot
his
about
body
this.
shock, body horror, sort of period. This one's got Kirsten. What's her name from Twilight? Kirsten
Yeah,
Stewart.
Kirsten Dunst. Kirsten Stewart. Yeah,
Kirsten Stewart. It's got the Bond lady. I can't remember her name now. French lady. And
Sophie
it's got
Ledoux,
uh, yeah, she's got a really. I can't remember. I was going to say she's got a really French
Léa
name.
Seydoux.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Léa Seydoux.
Yeah,
Thank you for that. And also, it's got Viggo Mortensen. This film looks
yeah,
crazy.
Paragon.
I don't know what's going on, but they seem to be putting people in these contraptions, and people are cutting themselves. It's almost like their pain is a dessert. It's like it's a something you enjoy. Like pain seems like not. It's weird. It's weird. That's all I can say. But it looks interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Really
And what is
interesting.
it with David Cronenberg and body horror, man? What is it about there's a lot of these movies that are kind of like out there. Like we watched
Yeah.
Titane, and that's another
Mm,
body horror. His
mm.
son, I remember watching we reviewed on the show a movie called Repossessed.
Yes.
David Cronenberg's
Yes.
son,
Son. Yeah.
he's done this. There's this real kind of
Is the
fascination
fly?
with
Is the fly
yeah.
Cronenberg? Yeah.
Is
Scanners? Is the scanners where the heads blow up or
with the
something? Is
heads
that him
like
as
popping
well?
off. Yeah, exactly, man. Oh man, there's loads of stuff. Crash as
Yeah.
well. His movie is Crash.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah. This
so
is going to be interesting. This is coming out in the next couple of months. This is going to be good.
yeah, that'll be on the
Yeah.
watch list. All right, okay. Let's move on to anniversary corner, and let's mention this one. So yeah, I remember watching this. This is Wrath. Yeah, this is the second one. This is Wrath of the Titans, isn't it? This is the second one.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wrath of the Titans.
and which is the one where Liam Neeson is like, release the Kraken.
That's the first one. Clash
Oh,
of the
is that the first
Titans.
one? Okay.
Oh my god!
Trust
Release
me.
the Kraken.
You know what? I don't even remember this one. I know that I've seen it, but I do
Uh,
not remember what this one actually is. So, Deval, give me a recap.
it wasn't much. This one basically, the first one was about Perseus, and basically saving. What's her name? He saved Argos. Was it Argos he was saving? I think. I think it was Argos.
Yeah.
Basically, he was
Or
helping
was it B
save
and
this.
Q? Sorry, people want to know what that is.
But Perseus is the son of Zeus and then a mortal, and he reluctantly takes on the mantle of being a sort of hero. He
Yeah.
basically wants to save his people. Uh, back in the Greek back in the days, Greek mythology, the gods and humans would, have war. The
Yeah.
gods had war with themselves. So this was all about short swords and shields, saving
Yeah.
humanity. The gods being angry at humanity for not praying to them to give them power, and Perseus, along with Pegasus, the winged
The winged
horse.
horse. Yeah.
He had
I
a
love
few.
that.
He had the golden fleece. Was it? Oh no, that's not that
Yeah.
Perseus. Can't remember. But either way, he had weapons that he used to protect people. I think it was Argos. I think the location that was going to be under attack. But yeah, basically, long story short, is Perseus played by, what's his name again? His name
You
is the
remember
guy
the
that was in
Sam?
Terminator. Sam Worthington. That's it.
That's it. Avatar.
Yeah, Avatar guy, exactly. So Liam Neeson's in this as well. Rosamund Pike, Ralph Fiennes, Toby Kebbell, who we saw in many things.
Oh yeah.
Magneto, not
Yeah.
Magneto, sorry, Doctor Doom in Fantastic
Yeah.
Four,
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes,
Cobra.
exactly as well. Lily James is in it as well. So yeah, so this is basically the title, Wrath of the Titans. Basically, the title is the gods having to get together to fight against Hades because Hades wants to take
Mm,
over. Hades is
that was
the
it.
god of the underworld.
Ralph
The
Fiennes.
sequel is not as good as the first one. The first one was decent. The
Yeah.
sequel went downhill. So yeah, watch it if you're bored, maybe.
Exactly. Yeah. Or just put on Jason and the Argonauts. I'll
Yeah,
take that
old
like
school
any day of the week.
or Sinbad.
Sinbad. Oh my
Remember
gosh.
the plaster scene, like
Oh man.
they're
Now
fighting
you're talking. Now you're
the
talking
skeleton.
movies,
Remember the
Devaldo.
skeleton fights with the sword and
Oh,
shield.
that was wicked.
Do you know who I used to like?
Imagine watching that in the
Oh,
80s. That was
I used
like
to like
that was
the Cyclops guy. Remember when he had a fight with
oh
the tiger? I think it was Sinbad
yes.
and the Eye of the Tiger, and the
Oh
Cyclops that guy
man.
had to fight him, and
Now
and
you're talking, man. Seriously, you know
that's
what? That's what they need to do. They need to do a
yeah,
remake of Sinbad or something like that,
yeah.
man. A proper
Oh, that'd be
swashbuckler
wicked.
there.
Yeah, that'd be wicked.
All right, okay. So yeah, like
Yeah.
Deval kind of mentioned, this kind of swashbuckling, this kind of mythical kind of
Mm,
era feeds into kind of the movie that that we're going to speak about, which Deval went out and watched. Actually, this is a brand new movie. So remember, Flix is bringing you fresh new movies. This is a new release out in cinema. This is called The Northman,
yeah.
and we've been waiting for this movie. I haven't had it actually. I don't even think it's out over here yet, Deval. To be honest with you,
Is it
but
not?
I've
Oh.
read and seen. I've seen the trailer. Obviously, the trailer looks amazing. Directed by Robert Eggers, and remind everyone again who is Robert Eggers? What's he done for us?
A visionary director, actually. Robert Eggers has done films like The Witch that came out in 2015. That's a
Yeah,
horror film that is actually really good. That film
yeah.
used 100% natural lighting. No electrical lights were used on set. Candle lights, moonlight, sunlight. Really deep horror film. The Lighthouse with Batman and what's his name?
Uh, um, Goblin.
Goblin, yeah. So Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe in that
Yeah,
one. So yeah, Robert Eggers is a good director, is what I'm trying to say. Basically, he does some really decent sort of dark type films. So yeah, and then in this film, so Robert Eggers directed The Northman. So maybe I'll set it up for you. And not going into too many spoilers, but yeah. So The
yeah.
Northman, it's all about Norse mythology. This is
Right.
Norwegian, sort of Scandinavian, all those kind of countries, and they believe in Odin, the All Father. We see him in Thor, and in back in the day, like we mentioned with Greek mythology, then the Scandinavians worshipped Odin and all those people. In this film, is basically about that in some kind of way. So we've got Alex Skarsgård, who's the main actor in the film, main character. Uh, Nicole Kidman's his mum.
Oh,
Willem
okay.
Dafoe is in the film as well. Ethan Hawke is Skarsgård's dad. Anya
Wow.
Taylor-Joy is in the film as well. So we've got some really good actors there as well. So the main plot of the film is Alexander Skarsgård. He's his dad, the king. I think you see this in the trailer, but his dad, the king, is betrayed by his own brother, and he's
Hmm.
killed and overthrown. You see this in the trailer, so that's what happens. And then the boy Alexander Skarsgård, he flees and vows to, get vengeance on his dad's killer. So when he grows up as well. Phew, he's massive, Alexander Skarsgård. So he
Yeah,
grows up into a warrior. What he's
yeah.
been doing in the time that he ran away. He's been fighting. He's been living on the streets. He's been joining these other groups that go around pillaging villages and just killing. He's a killing
Yeah.
machine. He's massive
Right.
as well. So that's what he's doing until he's ready to come back and get his uncle. So that's what the sort of journey is for him. And then along the way, he meets up with Anya Taylor Joy, she's also been wronged, and they kind of get together because they want to get back. They want to get back to the village uh, where his uncle killed his dad, and obviously get back, kill his uncle, and also get his mum back as well because his mum is also, she was taken as well by the uncle.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not as straightforward as that. This film by Robert Eggers, it kind of peters between the normal or the sort of reality that we see in films like Gladiator and Troy, and it goes off to the supernatural. So it kind of
Ah.
lives in two realms. So sometimes you see bits of supernatural stuff where they're talking with the ethers. I don't know if you remember in 300, where they want to find out some information, and they'll
Yeah.
go and talk to someone who can converse with someone else
Access that
who,
realm.
yeah, exactly. So you kind of get these dreamy kind of, you're not sure if it's real or not, but it is.
Yeah.
And he wants to find that information and stuff, or get some knowledge, or it's a bit mad. And even Anna Taylor Joy's character, she's able to really tap into that as well. So it's a bit weird in some ways, but it kind of helps drive the motivation on and keeps it a bit dynamic in the way the story is portrayed on screen. It's very dark. The the violence is grotesque.
Yeah.
There are some killings in this that are nasty.
Is
Uh,
it?
look look almost what's the word I'm looking for? Ritualistic in some of the ways that the
Oh.
bodies are arranged and the body parts, and it's a bit mad. But the Northman. See, I'm sighing because I really wanted to like this film more
Yeah.
than I did.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got an 8 out of 10 on IMDb. That's out of 4,000 reviews. So the film,
Already.
stylistically, it's up there. It's different. It's not a general Hollywood film. But for me, the thing that I can't reconcile is that I know Robert Eggers films are not normal Hollywood films, and
Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
like.
Like you said,
This
he's a
one seemed
visionary.
like, yeah, visionary. This one seemed like it wanted to be, but then it
Mm.
didn't, and
Right.
it kind of wrestled with those two different places. The story in itself is a Hollywood. I'm coming. It's Hollywood as you get. You
Yeah.
know, the king is murdered. The son wants revenge. That's
Revenge.
as Hollywood as you get,
Yeah.
and that's what they give you. But then they also give you the art house,
Okay.
dimension of it, which I would have liked it to be all that. But I kind of got to the action as well. I'm a
I know
bit
what you're
torn.
saying. It sounds like as if it's kind of like, it's neither there nor neither there, and he's kind of,
Yeah,
trying to straddle kind of both kind of
it might need a second
realms.
viewing. I saw it. I wasn't tired. I did see it late at night, but I wasn't
Mm.
tired, so that's not an excuse. But it might need a second viewing because maybe there's certain things I didn't appreciate that I should have. But because all Robert Eggers films I've liked, like they're
Yeah.
good films, 8 out of
There's
tens kind of
something
thing,
about them, right? He
Yeah,
has a look about the movies, and you
yeah,
mentioned about the lighting, like in
yeah.
this one. How does it go? Like, is the light
Similar.
does it still natural lighting?
No, not I wouldn't say so, but it's similarly well, not that I know of. Maybe he's going to say in the future, but I doubt it. Now, this one's got
Mm.
also a bit more special effects, as you can
Yeah.
see. There are
Yeah.
special effects in this. Some of the fight scenes are quite vast. There's definitely some of it reminded me of 300, the way
Okay.
the lighting was overexposed. You
Yeah.
get some really bright, overexposed, and in the background it's really dark and like almost angelic scenes where a character will come out and just overtake the whole
Sure.
scene. And you get some real moments that are dark and just almost look like a stage, like you watch in a
Mm.
theater, you know. But yeah, I'm not gonna say it's not good. Go watch it. I just can't
Oh,
place it.
okay.
I
Good.
can't place where this film should be. So it's
Mm.
hard to really give it a good. I can't give it a
I think
mark out
that's
of ten.
I
At,
think
at,
that's a
at the moment now,
really
it's a 6 out of
yeah.
10, but I think it should be more.
I think that's
You
a
know.
really balanced review. Like, you just kind
Mm.
of totally. It sounds interesting. Don't get me wrong. And that whole Norse mythology and like, come
Yeah.
on, like Odin's son, man. We're like
Yeah.
Thor, and like we love that kind of stuff.
Mm.
Learning about all that sort of stuff. So it will be interesting. I will obviously try and I don't think it's out over here yet. So at some point I
Okay.
will watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So no, thanks for that review. And folks who are listening, if you have seen the movie,
Mm.
what did you make of it? That'd be great. Get in touch with us. Let us know. Do you agree with what Deval said? Is there more to it? Maybe we need to watch it a couple more times. So that is The Northman. Go check that one out in your local cinema, and let us know how you get on with that one. Now, this next movie, Deval, I'm so like, this is so weird, right? Look, when you get a movie which is how many times have you come out of a movie where you've just walked out and you've just been smiling? You just literally,
Oh,
it's set you
serious?
up all the way through. How many times has it happened? It
Not many
happened when we watched
times.
Infinity War, man.
Yeah, Spider-Man: No Way Home. It happened. Oh, sorry to bother you. It happened with that one. That's a
Yeah,
really odd key kind of film. That was
yeah.
good. Very, art house kind of. But you're smiling now. You're still smiling now. I
You know
can
what?
see.
I'm still smiling
Oh
now.
my
Listen,
gosh.
let me tell you, this movie, just straight up, don't even listen to what I'm about to say about this movie. Just flip in, go out and watch it. You just
And the
have to watch it
title, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
all at once. And believe you me, everything is all at once. But listen, this is how good the movie was for me. As soon as I got home, I had to write about it. I had to write an
Yes, I
article
saw
on
your review
Medium.
on Medium. I saw your review. I
I
didn't
had
read it because I
to.
haven't seen the film yet. But
Exactly. No,
are you
no, I
serious?
had to. That is how much of an emotional impact that it had on me that I literally had to get my laptop out and I had to start banging out words because of what I just seen, which was just blows your mind out. And listen, this is one of those movies where the least you know about it, the better. So for the listeners and for you, Deval, I'm going to do you a huge favor and then going to wrap this up in this literally like in a few minutes. Like
Ah,
you have to just go out and watch it. The title, exactly like what Deval just said, Everything Everywhere All at Once. It stars Michelle Yeoh. It stars Stephanie, I think I'm pronouncing this right, Stephanie Sue. It stars James Hong. I think I got that one right. And also Deval, back from wherever he was, K Hwan, who was Data and Short Round from The Goonies, and
mm,
um, what was it? Indiana Jones.
mm.
Indiana Jones. So this guy, remember the child actor from The Goonies? Do you remember him?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
He took a break from acting for 20 years, and then
Serious.
yeah, he took a break from acting. He came back, and I was really listening to an interview of his recently. He said the movie that made him come back to acting was Crazy Rich Asians. He watched that
Mm,
movie and he was like, "Look, I want to get back into acting because now is the right time. We're seeing
mm,
Asian people on the
mm, mm,
screen. We're
mm.
not just seeing typical Hollywood movies." And
Okay.
the reason why I bring that up is this movie is about an Asian family. It's about a
Mm,
mother. It's about and she, she's obviously she's a mother to her daughter. She's a wife and she's a daughter to a father, and she has this kind of weird relationship. And the movie is so bonkers. Um, the movie is so bonkers. The movie is. Oh, hang on a second.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
I'm going to edit that bit out anyway.
No, keep it
Um,
in. Trust me, keep it
I
in.
can't seriously. um,
You just said
it just
bonkers,
threw
yeah?
me off. It just
You
threw me
just.
off. Seriously, the movie is so bonkers
Oh my
that I can't
gosh.
even put into kind of words exactly what happens. But here's
I'm
kind of like a
living in
bit of
you
an
to be lost
outline.
for words. You're a
Exactly.
writer. How's a
Here's
writer lost for words?
how is it even possible? But listen, here's kind of like a bit of a kind of like a thing. So Michelle Yeoh, she plays Evelyn Wang.
Mm.
She's the owner of a laundry mat, a laundry, like and
Laundrette.
she's kind of in a chaotic family. She's living in a chaotic world.
Mhm.
And oh, hold on a second, man. Just give me a second. Sorry, man. Yeah,
That's all
the
right.
little one, he just barely woke up. Yeah, so um, yeah, so let me say the movie's completely bonkers, but let me just give a kind of like a quick little bit of a rundown. So Michelle Yeoh, she plays Evelyn Wang. She is a owner of a laundry, and she lives in this chaotic household.
Yeah.
She's got a kind of failing marriage. Her daughter is
Mm.
kind of going through some personal issues. Evelyn, she's in denial about her daughter's relationship. She's queer, and she's got this kind of overbearing dad who's coming over from China as well at the same time. And throw in the mix, she's got this tax audit that's going on.
Mm.
So at the beginning of the movie, they're panicking. So the Wangs, they're all panicking. They're like, okay, we've got to make sure this receipt is right, this receipt is right. And so they go over to kind of like, the tax IRS office. And the person who's dealing with their tax audit is Jamie Lee Curtis. And she's got brilliant comic timing in this one. And that's exactly where things start to go really, really trippy. So they're in the elevator, and Evelyn gets visited by a multiversal, like time traveler or whatever you want to call him, and he's like, "Listen, Evelyn, I'm so and so, and listen, we need your help." And she's like, "What the hell are you talking about? Like, this is absolutely crazy." And then he gives her a set of instructions. So while she's going through this tax audit with Jamie Lee Curtis, she starts reading the instructions, and then all of a sudden, boom, she's been transported into another dimension, another world and stuff. Devout is so mad, it's so bonkers that me even explaining it to you isn't even going to do it justice. But listen, there are several multiverses in this movie. There are several versions of Evelyn Wang. There are several versions of her daughter, several versions of her husband, and they all mix in to kind of create a martial arts action sci-fi comedy. But it's none of those things, but it's also all of those things. And it's kind of this kind of philosophical, you know there's questions about life, existence, and about making the right choices in life and what it means to be alive and all this sort of stuff. It's so amazing that I think right now it's like 9 out of 10 on IMDb. It's
That's
just
crazy.
crazy. It's
Oh,
absolutely bonkers, right? And it's
9 out of 10.
probably going to be my movie of the year. Like, if I'm being honest,
Serious
it's
so
probably
far.
going to be up there so far. I mean, I reckon Multiverse of Madness, Doctor
Yeah.
Strange 2 is going to be up there, and I think this is going to be right up there as well. It's just you just got to
Oh
go.
shit! It's
You just
9
got to
out of
go out and
10
watch it.
on IMDb so far.
So
Do
far,
you know,
9 out of
I
10.
can't get it yet. It's not out here yet.
That's so weird.
I can't get it here. I haven't seen it in
Oh,
the cinema.
and to top it off, have a guess who's behind this? A24.
Of course, yeah.
You
I
got
need to
It's
watch
one of
this
those
film.
movies you just got
I
to go
need
out
to
and
watch this
watch.
film.
You seriously need to watch it. And like I
Oh,
said before, like it's got martial arts in there, it's got comedy in there, it's got drama in there, and it's got this kind of this. It's a story about a mother and daughter. It's a story about a husband and wife, and it's about all these different relationships. And it answers that question, what if? And obviously on Disney, we've had with the MCU, we've had these questions of what if. What if Loki wasn't so and so? What if Captain America? You know, what if it was Captain Agent Carter was Captain America? You got all these questions, and this movie asks those specific questions, but in a different way. And it's funny. It's kind of it's heartfelt, and it's all these things, man. I just really, really happy, and I came out of the movie with a massive smile on my face, and I was like, "Damn, I got to write about it straight away. I got to write about it." So go out and
okay.
watch
Say
it.
no
That's my
more.
review.
No, say no more. I need to see this film.
Exactly.
I don't know how I'm going to
Do
see
it.
it, when I'm going to see it, but I'm going to see it.
You got to
And
watch it, man.
yeah.
And for listeners, people who are out there who've seen it, tell me exactly what you've kind of thought of the movie. And I'm going to try and put an Instagram post out on this one. And yeah, we'll kind of catch people's thoughts on this one. If you haven't seen it, do it. If you have seen it, get in touch with us. And yeah, that's it, man. It's a
Mm,
9 out of 10 for
okay.
me.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. Say no more. Say no more. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I guess
man.
that's it then for today.
That's it. That's
Um,
that's all we've got time for.
yeah. So yeah, go check out the Insta, Twitter, Facebook. What else is there? YouTube, and just shout from any rooftop as well. We can hear you.
Exactly. See you on the next one.
Okay. All right. Peace out.
Live. Yes, I think it's all looking really good. You're looking amazing, Deval, as always.
So are you.
Get them pecs out. What's happening in London town, man?
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just pop in the Flixters podcast.